For more than 4,000 years, the Great Pyramid of Giza has stood as the most studied structure on Earth. Millions have visited it. Thousands of books have been written about it. Generations of historians believe they already know what it is: a tomb, a monument built to house the body of a long-dead pharaoh. But what if that answer was chosen not because it explains the pyramid, but because it avoids the questions it raises? Because when you strip away assumptions, traditions, and textbooks, something deeply unsettling remains. The Great Pyramid does not behave like a tomb. It does not look like a tomb, and it does not contain what a tomb should. Tonight, we examine the evidence that suggests the Great Pyramid was never intended to bury the dead, and may have served a purpose far more advanced than we were ever taught. Ancient Egypt left behind thousands of tombs, from the Valley of the Kings to the smallest noble burial. They all share common traits: walls covered in hieroglyphs, religious imagery, texts describing the journey to the afterlife, spells to protect the soul, depictions of gods and rituals. Tombs were not subtle. They were symbolic, artistic, and deeply spiritual. Now compare that to the Great Pyramid. Its interior walls are completely bare. No writing, no artwork, no prayers, nothing that explains death, rebirth, or the afterlife. This is not a missing detail. This is a complete absence of funerary tradition. Even more troubling, the Great Pyramid contains no confirmed burial goods, no grave offerings, no ceremonial objects, no evidence of mummification. For a civilization obsessed with death rituals, this silence is deafening. Inside the king's chamber sits a granite box commonly labeled a sarcophagus. But this object raises more questions than answers. It has no lid, no inscriptions, no decorative elements, no symbolic carvings. Even more strangely, it is too large to have been carried through the narrow passages leading into the chamber, which means it was placed there before the pyramid was completed. That alone contradicts known burial practices. And unlike other sarcophagi, it shows signs of unfinished craftsmanship. Why would the most important burial in Egyptian history be placed in an incomplete container? Or was it never meant to hold a body at all? If the Great Pyramid was merely a tomb, its engineering makes no sense. The pyramid is aligned to true north with astonishing accuracy, closer than many modern skyscrapers. Its base is level to within a fraction of an inch across nearly 13 acres. The stone blocks weigh between 2 and 80 tons and are fitted so precisely that even today, engineers struggle to replicate the technique. This level of precision is not found in other Egyptian tombs. Not before, not after. In fact, later pyramids are less accurate, smaller, and structurally weaker, which raises a disturbing question. Why did Egyptian construction decline over time instead of improving? That is not how technological progress works, unless later builders were imitating something they no longer understood. Deep inside the pyramid are narrow shafts extending from the king's and queen's chambers. For decades, these were dismissed as ventilation shafts, but they don't function like ventilation. They are too narrow. They do not connect to open airflow systems. And most importantly, they are angled with precision towards specific stars. One shaft points toward Orion's belt, another toward the ancient pole star. In ancient Egyptian belief, these stars were associated with cosmic order and divine ascent. But no other tomb behaved unusually within its chambers. Sound resonates in specific areas. Vibrations amplify rather than dissipate. Computer simulations show the pyramid can focus electromagnetic energy into certain internal spaces. No tomb requires energy concentration. No burial chamber needs resonance. But a functional structure might. Some researchers propose the pyramid acted as a resonance chamber, a harmonic stabilizer, a timekeeping or measurement device, or something whose purpose we have not yet rediscovered. The uncomfortable truth is this: the pyramid behaves more like a system than a monument. The ancient Egyptians documented nearly everything: temple construction, offerings, rituals, royal decrees. Yet there are no detailed records describing how the Great Pyramid was built. No step-by-step accounts, no explanations of its purpose, no ceremonial dedication texts. For the most important structure in their civilization, this silence is inexplicable. Some inscriptions mention workers and logistics, but never the core methods or intent. It is as if the knowledge already exists designed to endure catastrophes and civilizations alike. A message carved into the planet itself. One of the most controversial ideas is also one of the most intriguing, that its builders understood forces we barely comprehend today. Yet that knowledge vanished. Later Egyptians revered the pyramid, but could not replicate it. They inherited the structure, not the science, which suggests the pyramid was not the beginning of Egyptian civilization, but the inheritance of something older, something already ancient when the dynasties began. The Great Pyramid may not be a mystery because it is misunderstood. It may be a mystery because it belongs to a lost chapter of human knowledge, a chapter erased by time, disaster, or deliberate forgetting. If it was built to harness Earth, if it was built to track cosmic cycles, if it was built to survive catastrophe, then the final question is unavoidable. What did they know that we don't? And why did they think we would need to remember it?